All right, so this morning we're going to chat about preserving. Now, it's not going to be canning today, it is actually going to be freezing. So, a lot of things you can freeze. Now, obviously, it will change the compound of the fruit or vegetable, which isn't a bad thing. It just means you're going to have to use it for something else later. So I canned a bunch of tomatoes, but I did have some that were pretty decent looking that I wanted to try another method because my landlord suggested you can also freeze them. So I did wash them and then lay them on a pan with wax paper, parchment paper, and then I froze them and then later transferred them into this bag. I also had way more spinach. I actually still have more spinach I have to harvest. I had more spinach and it was growing faster than I could eat it. So I'm doing the exact same thing. I wash it, I lay it out, I wash it, I dry it, and then I lay it out on parchment paper. And then later you can bag it, and you can just pull out handfuls as you want. An example, I'm going to need this up in my other freezer. Example, this is like my staging freezer. So, Gabriel, my lovely black cat over there, I actually feed him raw bison, but I actually pre-ball it so I can just take a ball out at a time. So this is the same idea though. So lay it on a pan, parchment paper, and then lay whatever you're trying to freeze out. Freeze it, and then it's easier to store later and it won't stick together. I also do this with like cinnamon buns that I've made. I also got into the habit so like if my fruit is going bad and I can quite a bit, but my canner is pretty small and I water bait a little bit too. So what I'll do is I'll actually wash it, pre-cut it up, and then they're in little bits, right? So I can use these for baking later. Yeah, so I do suggest, hold on here. I do suggest using as much as you can of what you have now and then prepping for later as well. I feel like a lot of the followers that I do have, or soon to have, are kind of on the same wavelength that I am. There's a lot of craziness going on in the world, and we need to be prepared. Now, these are just small steps. They can point you in the right direction. Yeah, so free, and like I've heard there's many uses for various things. Like I used to just like chop my beet leaves off and then just feed them to the pigs. I actually was talking to a farmer the other day, and she says you can just take like the red vine out of the beet leaf. You can like blanch the beet leaf, and then you can actually make cabbage rolls with beet leaves. So there's a lot of different uses for things I feel like I've been throwing out, and maybe you have too. If you have some tips, some recipes on preserving, canning, freezing, cooking, comment below. You could be helping out someone use up all of their valuable produce or meats. Or you could be giving me information I don't have yet. There was a bill passed in Canada that censorship has been going on. Again, this has been going on for a long time. But also I did just find out that WHO and WF and Google have teamed up. So they will be removing all websites for everyone in the world that they don't seem fit to their agenda. So getting information out to people right now is going to be super important. A lot of stuff I actually in recipes I write down, just because internet is obviously not reliable anymore. So I'm actually asking you guys if you guys have a pickling recipe for eggs. I'd love to hear it. All the ones I look on the internet say you can't do it, which is false. I know that because I've seen the Hutterites do it. I just can't find a recipe. So if you have recipes that, again, may seem average to you, some of us don't know, pass them along while you can, write them down. yeah, so I wash, freeze that stuff that I can use, and those will be used for stews later. I'm having issues with my other pressure canner. The seal is not working. It's too dry. So I'm trying to preserve as much as I can this way, so that when my canner is ready, I can start canning again. Other than that, if you have any other subjects um, or questions, comment below. What else? That's pretty much it. Stay healthy and yeah, be safe.